Check the spreads when the distance. Now we're dropping these locks, just the boys in the will to cash big. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your bankroll for glory. Don't lose your grip on the almanac pass. You must bet just to keep it alive. So the pick is in it, it's the thrill of the line. Dialing up to the challenge of the books, and the last known survivor starts his edge in the night. And he's watching us all. The pick is in. Face to face, out on the air, hanging tough, staying sharp. They stack the odds, still we take to the square for the win with the skill to survive. The pick is in, it's the thrill of a line. Dialing up to the challenge of the books, and the last known survivor starts his edge in the night. And he's watching us all. The pick is in. The pick is in. Rising up, straight to the top, had the guts, got the units, when the distance. Now we're not gonna stop, just the boys and the will to survive. It's a pick is in, pick is in, pick is in, pick is in. The pick is in, it's the thrill of the line. Rising up to the challenge of our rival, and the fix might be in, but we're calling it right. Heywood's almanac, Jonah, Snoop in the fight, is the fix in? Is it all predetermined? Back to the future, future's looking certain. Tune in weekly for the picks and the laugh. Sports betting expert dropping knowledge on the path. The pick is in. The pick is in. The pick is in.
Hey, what's going on? All the great people across all the great land, as my co-host, my new, maybe upgraded co-host, says. My brother, Snoop, can't make it today, but I'll bring in Nick Wilcox is here with me to be my co-host tonight for the Pick Is In podcast. What up, Nick?
What up, partner?
How you doing? How you doing?
Can't believe you used my tagline. I love it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
Did that just
infringement?
did that just for you, brother? What up? So all the people watching across, we got a good show lined up. We don't have Snoop here tonight, so he's on the injured list tonight. So we got the man Nick Wilcox joining me. So it's going to be a little bit different tonight. Bear with us with the productions, but we'll make it through. What up, Nick? Cheers, and how are you?
Yes, sir. Cheers, man.
Yeah.
It's water tonight, though.
So how are you, brother? How's your day? How's your week?
Yeah, it's been great, man. Another day above ground, right?
Which is always great.
Another great day to be blessed and highly favored. So.
Oh. Hey, I love the gear you're wearing, by the way. Show the people at home.
I know you. I know you do. I know you do.
You look good in orange and purple, brother.
This is gray.
Well, that's it. Well, I appreciate you being here with me, brother. This is Fantasy Basketball Championship Week.
Sure is.
So we're going to dive into that in a little bit, but I want to appreciate, just from the bottom of my heart, I'm lucky to have you here weekly. I'm lucky to call you a friend of mine. So much love, brother.
That too, my guy. Appreciate it. Same here, bro. Much love.
Yeah. So all the great people at home, we can find our work over at phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. We'll my work, Snoop's work. I know we'll go over Nick's platform here in a second. But yeah, check us out at phoneboothpodcast.substack.com, where you can check out all things to pick us in. We got every show ever made on there. So go check us out. Plus, we got a bunch of other great podcasts, like my boy Snoop with the Here's the Thing podcast, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The guy's always got bangers on for rock stars, man. The guy knows a lot of people. So go check us out there. And then shout out to my brother Jonah Stormrider. Go check out his podcast, The Philosopher King, on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. EST. So go check us out. A look at phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. And then I want to pull up my our YouTube if we can. Let me pull that up here. So also, don't forget to check us out. The Pick Is In podcast on YouTube. Folks, we only need 2 more subscribers to start streaming. We're at 48. We started this platform back in late December. So show us some love. So that'll mean a lot if we can get up to 50. I want to start streaming on there. And then, folks, we just started Rumble as well. So go give us a follow over at Rumble. We're starting to stream there. So it's one of our newest platforms. And then, Nick, where can the great folks find your great work, my man?
The Fantasy Football Show on YouTube. Me and my guy, John Amare. Yeah, we out here. It's off season, so we got some content dropping soon. Just be patient. We got a few things that we're going to be changing up, so that's where you can find some of this stuff we gone over. We take care of y'all when it comes to the season-long stuff for fantasy football, but also like the betting side of things. So definitely check out the page for sure. Like I said, we got some changes coming your way, so that'll make things a lot more optimal for everybody. So stay tuned for that. And again, NFL draft's right around the corner, so be patient for that too. So
yeah, we got what, 3 weeks,
Yep.
3.5 weeks, something like that. It's 3 weeks from tonight.
Yep. 3
Let's
weeks
go.
from tonight.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh, is Johnny going to be there?
Pittsburgh, he tried, but ultimately, he knew he couldn't do it.
Awesome.
He couldn't beat it, but it is what it is. It's what happens when you have family and life responsibilities and yada yada yada. Sometimes can't do it all. So
100%.
I just told him be ready for Ohio. I just told him be ready for Ohio and the Expo. So that being said, yeah, that's what we got for us. If you want to follow me, I'm on X at Nick_Wilcox25. My overall tag as you see it. So follow me on X. You know what I'm saying? You got a question about some dynasty stuff, fantasy football stuff, some betting stuff, whatever. We dive right into it. So let me know.
Speaking of the Fantasy Football Expo, it's 113 days from today. Guys, go get your
counting down. Look at you. You get your hotel yet?
3 weeks I'm booking. 3 weeks I'm booking. Got a little video I want to show real quick to all the folks at home.
Bob will love this.
Yeah, Bob Long. Shout out to Bob Long. Great man. God, dude, just an awesome dude. So let's watch this. So it's not much of a video, but hey, he just gives out a schedule and a reminder. Just something small on Bob's end, but 113 days to the Fantasy Football Expo. Have you got your hotel booked yet, Nick?
I got my situation pretty much all but wrapped up, yeah. So
okay. All right.
Not doing the hotel this year. The bookings are like very close to already being done, actually. So the DoubleTree is nice, but honestly, it's not. I just feel it's a little overpriced for everything considered. That's just my personal opinion.
We'll talk off screen. I'm going to book in a few weeks, but I want to definitely get hooked up where you're at. But guys, we got to get your livers ready. Get your networking ready. This is something that's, Nick's been to what, 2? Right?
Yeah.
You've been to 2? It's a great for networking and just meeting people and connecting and meeting great people.
As my guy Rich Rebar would say, just come and be a good human. Come be with some good humans and be a good human yourself.
Right. can't wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And they changed the dates. So, yeah, I'm definitely counting down the dates, baby. So,
yeah, I think a lot of people were complaining about being in August because of that's most times when people go on family vacations and go out of town or go out of country and whatever have you. So, I don't mind the mix up at all. Late July seems awesome for Ohio, so that's fine.
All right. So before we get into any news, I want to go over the betting week from the show. It was 7 weeks in a row we had winning weeks. This is the first week I did not have a winning week, but I only had 2 bets that I laid out. So 0 winning bets for Heywood. I wish I had a trumpet or boo button for me. Boo. But 0 winning bets, 2 and 6 on my legs. I only had 2 bets, lost $45. Very light week. It's just really funny. It's just really odd part of the year.
Season stuff, that's all it is.
Yeah, and then usually in my notes in my almanac, I have baseball. I usually take it easy initially, with ramping up, pitchers getting extended, so on and so forth. So it's a very light area of the year for me, but don't worry, folks, some good bets coming. So always go over that, and then I got the standings up for actually. Before we go into that, let's dive in some NFL. What do you say, brother?
Yep.
All right. Bear with me as I'm doing this production part. Puka Nacua. Let's watch a video with Adam. How do you say his name again, Snoop? He's not here.
Scheffler.
Thank you.
Scheffler. Adam Scheffler.
All right, let's take a leak.
That's like a leak?
A look. I say league.
Rehab in California. His attorney told the California Post yesterday he's been there for a while, since shortly after the Super Bowl. He is expected to be there for a while, and obviously the Rams and Puka Nacua are trying to get him the help that he needs at this point in time. Obviously, there are a whole lot of issues tied to this on the field, off the field. He was involved in a case on New Year's Eve where he was accused of biting a woman. She filed a lawsuit against him. He's trying to get the help that he believes he now needs, and obviously there are huge implications for the football element of this that the Rams are aware of. But they said it's most important right now for Puka to get the help that he needs as a person, and all the football stuff, the contract, that all can wait until after he's out.
Yes, I was going to say that. It feels inconsequential in comparison, but obviously for a football show, it is a big deal. The contract piece of this is going on sort of concurrently, or at least running along parallel tracks.
Look, we saw Jackson Smith and Jigba already become the highest paid wide receiver in football. Puka Nacua is that level of talent, and everybody believes that Puka is going to get paid, but the Rams obviously want him to get the help and treatment he needs first before they move on to the contractual element of this. And when teams are doing contracts, they look at the entire picture. They need that person to be a leader on and off the field. They need him to be an example, and you're going to make him one of the highest paid players in the league, give him $40+ million. You need to make sure that that person is going to be handling himself the right way.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. As there's further information, we will let you.
So, Nick, we got Puka Nacua checking himself into drug rehab. What's your first thoughts?
Bad timing. Bad timing for Puka Nacua. Literally.
Yeah.
We just like we just heard, it's JSN just got mega paid. You know what I'm saying? Like mega paid. And I don't think he's the best receiver in the league. So in my eyes, I see Puka Nacua is better than him on the field. So I guess my overall thought and opinion on it is that, like I said, it's bad timing. Because what happens in these situations, especially when we're talking about money and contracts, is that you're gonna look under every rock for anything to not pay somebody what they're worth. In general, when it comes to business, because you need to understand that what you're getting yourself into for a long-term situation. And if Puka Nacua going to drug rehab right now, it's kudos to the organization for the Rams right now to be like, okay, hey, they're not being shifty or shady about it. They do want him to get the help that he needs and get him to the best possible health stance before they offer him or they talk about long-term extension. Because honestly, like a shadier organization, in the past, like Washington probably would have probably
Arizona,
would have probably been like, hey, I don't think we can give him an extension, but we're not going to give him anything than what we talked about before. That's off the table now. So and they would have, and the organization wouldn't not be in the right in that situation because it's like, hey, we're dealing with the current situation now versus like, hey, if you want to deal with the contract later, I'm saying it may not, that same money may not be on the table later. So it's like you take this money now or not, and then we get that contract extension, we get that little small discount. What I would say right now, because that's what it looks like to me right now. But it doesn't look like the Rams are doing that at least initially here in this moment in time. But it is a little concerning that like Puka Nacua had to check himself into a drug rehab, and there's stuff going on with him in general. So I'm just hoping for the best for him in general, for health, and as a person first. And obviously athlete stuff like that comes later. But from a human being perspective, I hope that Puka does get the help that he needs in this situation. Being in California and LA, I'm sure you got a lot of things at your disposal. So.
A lot of temptation. How much longer is his contract? Is it 1 year left?
Is he still on a rookie? He's still on his rookie deal.
Okay.
So he's still getting paid peanuts. But
all right,
if I were to give you the official number, like, yeah, he's on the – he's going to be entering the last year of his rookie deal, yeah.
Okay. So bad timing, yeah.
Bad timing, literally.
So I agree with you with the organization being, up front and foremost, like letting the public know what's going on. And apparently the guy's been in rehab before this news came out. Apparently he's been in.
That's the more shocking part of it.
Yeah.
Like,
so
no one got wind of that.
Yeah. And I saw I don't have the video up, but I saw a video of him like 5 weeks ago. He looked like he was on something, the way he was acting. But first and foremost, as a drug addict myself who has years sober, I had to go to drug rehab when I was a kid. I had a major problem. So much kudos for Puka. Like literally, that's to just say you have a problem and go get help. That says a lot about his character. It actually does, So hopefully he gets better. He gets himself right and, get this done in the off season so he could blow it up this year and stay healthy. The guy's a beast, dude. You there, Nick?
Yep, still here.
Okay. So yeah, what this news came out 2 days ago, right?
Yes.
It was like 2 days ago.
No,
Okay.
Yesterday, technically.
Yesterday. Okay. So good for him for trying to get help. Totally get his help. And as a human being, that comes first. Mental health is everything. So
it sure is.
So on to the next NFL piece of information that we got for news. If I could pull it up here. All right. Sweet. So the NFL schedule, as far as starting off the season, has been released with our first, 2 games. That's been announced. So the 49ers, let me pull up this next one. I got the wrong one up here. My bad, Mike. Come on, Mike. Come on. I'm having some technical issues over here.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, I got the wrong post. But anyway, Thursday, they're going to open up Wednesday. That's new.
That's crazy, That's really random.
So the NFL's going to open up Wednesday, and we're going to have a game Thursday in a third world country in Australia. This is really odd. Have we ever had Wednesday ball ever?
Yes.
I think COVID?
Well, I have to go back to COVID. I was thinking about the how we had a makeup game for Monday Night Football many moons ago.
That's right.
I know Minnesota was involved. I just forgot the other team. They couldn't play because of the weather conditions. I think it was like for playoff implications or whatever have you. I'll do my own research on that again. But we did have a Wednesday game. You know what I'm saying? Like many moons ago.
Which is just nuts to think about. We're going to watch the first game of the NFL season on a Wednesday.
That's odd. That's very odd. A Wednesday?
Yeah.
It's very odd. It's usually Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have probably pushed for a Friday, but that's 9/11. So yeah, like Wednesday is very interesting and weird. And yeah, Australia, like between division opponents, it's like, it just seems a bit interesting. That's all it is. But,
yeah. So
hey,
had the right post up there. That's just weird. Melbourne, Australia. So I mean, we're gonna have football Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday of that stretch. So week 1 can't get here sooner, brother. We got the draft coming up, so we got to knock that out. But just a crazy way to open up the schedule. Very crazy. Is it about the money for the NFL? Is that why they're doing this? It has to be.
Yes, that's
100%.
100%. I'm sure we have good fan bases in other countries for the NFL, but it's also like, it's just because you got, I think when we had NFL Europe many moons ago, we overall had that, which was like kind of cool, but that's how I feel like it should kind of expand out again. But the fact that I don't mind it, I guess, if it's like, I guess you have to keep it equal, right? Because you got to, as many teams as possible, whatever, they got to go to these other places and play and stuff like that. Like, I'm not putting that down. It's just more about like because this is a divisional game. So it's like, this could be, have some implications on both of these teams just to start out the year. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing, like, with it. I don't mind you. It's just why you got to host the first game in another country. I don't know.
Right. So, folks, one thing that not having Snoop here is I can't pull up some of the stuff like the comments and stuff like that. We have a comment by Pooh True Patriot, a good buddy of mine, just saying he couldn't agree with us more about Puka. Everything else falls into place. It's God's plan, So, good for yeah. So that's crazy. It's just crazy how I'm going to have to not work that night. I'm going to have to get it off to watch the game.
I'm not. I'll watch it on my phone. I don't care.
That's just going to be crazy. So another piece of news I want to go over is coming out from the man, Adam Schefter, as Snoop would say. NFL owners have approved a rule change allowing the league to step in and assist on potential disqualifications, whether for flagrant football acts or non-football acts, and initiate a flag if there wasn't one thrown. Situations like the DK Metcalf incident last year, where there was no flag meant no ejection. So now it can be addressed in real time. Thoughts, Nick?
I mean, I don't mind it because you want to get it right. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know where I stand yet on the officiating across sports when it comes to, like how much of assistance should we get per that overall thing. Because if a ref misses it, sometimes that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's just going to happen naturally. And then it's like, with situations like the DK Metcalf stuff was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that was something obvious that should have been looked at in real time. But the other side of this, and the other problem you have with this is that, like, if you, for instance, like, again, like, if someone, if a pass interference call comes or whatever have you, like, and someone, does something after the whistle and stuff, now it looks like a flagrant situation, like, so it's like, you just gotta be careful with these situations, because just because one incident happens doesn't mean should be getting addressed across the board in every game, and it just takes up even more time and all that crap. So
it's just gonna open up.
This could have an extra hour because of the extra time you're taking.
Right. With all this, correct. Does it open the bag for other things? Like, hey, this guy didn't get called for a personal foul, or, he tripped a guy or punched a guy, and then, can we see like backlash of it? Like if ref didn't call it, the league calls in and does that. We could see some of that.
Exactly. And that could, and honestly, like, that could definitely like mess with people's like bettings and stuff like that and all that, because that could, I mean, you want to get the call right, like I said, but like in real time, but also it's like things are just going to be missed in general. You can't get every single call right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just like they say, there's holding on every single play in NFL. There pretty much is.
Right.
For the most part. Like, there's not really a distinct line between holding. You know what I'm saying? So unless it's really egregious, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, oh yeah, we gotta call that. Like, oh yeah, because you really called that one, right? But if something looked like holding and then you went back later and yeah, it was holding, then okay, where do we go from there then? Because you're gonna call what? Now holding's gonna have to be more distinguished where you call that now too, right? So this can just open up a bag of worms. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 100%. I hope it just doesn't ruin the game, slows it down, and they, lot of little things can ruin the game. Just don't press the
because
issue
stuff
with it.
like this is like an extra timeout.
Yeah.
And that can ruin momentum for sometimes for certain teams in general. Yep. So, especially on the offense, obviously. So, if someone's driving down the offensive field and all of a sudden, like, someone does a, whatever, what I'm saying, like violation or whatever they're going to call it, like, then it's going to take more time. And then the other team gets some more of a timeout and all that. So,
right. So, in other news, I got something pulled up here. The Jaguars' proposal to play their home games in 2027 in Orlando, Florida, during the final year of the $1.4 billion renovation of Everbank Stadium was unanimously approved by the NFL owners at the league annual meetings. So, the Jags are going to be playing their home games up in Orlando. That's kind of nuts. Maybe they don't have as much as a home field advantage. It's, what is it, like an hour away, I believe? But Duval is not Duval. It's Orlando.
Not for next year. Not for next year, at least.
Yeah.
Like this year they are, but not next year.
Right. I did. To be honest with you, when I read this, I didn't know the Jaguars were doing a renovation to their building. I thought the Khan family wanted to get them to London. Like,
I heard that too. So that was a little surprising. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a 2-hour drive from Jacksonville to Orlando. Two?
Yeah, okay.
So it's 2. It's not much of a home field. It's still a home field advantage, but like you said, it's still like, it's not like probably 20 minutes to the stadium or half an hour or whatever it was. Like,
right. I think they're going to play in that Camping World Bowl Stadium. I forget the name of it, but
I've been there. Camping World Stadium. You got it right.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, I used to work for Camping World, believe it or not, a while ago. Me and my selling days, being a salesman. But
hey, you
that's
still
it.
are.
Hey, I am. So that's it for NFL, except one more thing. We got to talk about the man that got paid today. Break the news to the people for the old man Smithers.
It's crazy, man.
Kirk Cousins got paid today, didn't he?
He sure did, man. The ramifications of his contract, like, I guess, like, again, it's basically people are calling it a 1-year, $20 million deal because they get, the team option for the next couple of years they have. But initially it was reported that the contract was worth, 5-year, 172, I think.
Right. I got it right here.
5-year, 172, yeah.
Here we go.
So, but the team option has it. There you go. Yep. So 5-year, $172 million deal with the Raiders. The reality is it's a 1-year fully guaranteed $20 million deal that contains a club option for 2 years at $80 million. Falcons will pay Cousins $8.7 million this season. The Raiders another $1.3 in Vegas. Also agreed to pay its new QB a fully guaranteed $10 million roster bonus on the third day of the 2027 new league year.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. I was this ain't like huge news to me. No. I saw some like pretty big time fantasy people post today that they're not going to take Fernando because of this. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't want to bring up no names.
No. You blast these people. You blast these people right now. What blasphemy is this? What?
Okay, so I just pulled up that guy's Twitter account, and that post is no longer there.
Oh yeah. It better not
so,
be.
but this
Crazy.
this does not hold back drafting Fernando.
Views,
just some clicks, right? And it was a pretty reputable name. If the post was still up, I would take your advice and blast it. But
we can probably find it. We just gotta take some extra time to look at
it. Right. But it's that time of the year. It's after free agency. We got the draft coming up. There's not going to be that much news, but. I thought the Raiders killed it this offseason, to be honest with you. They got the best center in football. Ashton Genty moving up our ranks. They're going to get a great quarterback who's got high IQ. They got pieces there. Crosby staying there, right? They got a good coach. What's your thoughts on the Raiders going forward?
It's still I got to wait until after the draft. That's why I really assess more of the teams and rosters and everything. I thought the Raiders did fine just throwing their money at different guys. So it remains to be seen if, with, how the Raiders are going to look in general. Like, they look okay on paper. Like, they spent a good amount of money. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Fernando obviously gonna get drafted by these guys. So the question the question will be because that was when I was talking to a guy of mine when we talk about the draft. It's like Fernando is the best quarterback, but will he even play this upcoming season? Now,
Yeah.
especially now with this news now with Kirk Cousins. It was a question before this news came out, but now that Kirk Cousins is signed this deal, whatever, it's like all right, like what do we do here now? Because
You
gotta
really
play
think
in
he'll
or
start
not.
the season not starting?
Who? Fernando?
Fernando. Yeah.
I don't think he'll start this. I don't think he'll start the season starting now,
Interesting.
especially
Okay.
now with this. Because look, I think you want to protect your longer term investment. I know you pumped a lot of money into getting some pieces in now, but that doesn't mean you have to start Fernando game 1, week 1. In my opinion, you gotta see what Kirk Cousins has left. If he has anything left, you gotta at least tread those tires. In my opinion. From a veteran, from an NFL, head coaching perspective, all that going on, like I think you gotta at least see what you got, because if you don't find out what you got, then look, the next, the team options next 2 years at $80 million, like so it's like you're giving the guy $20 million now, basically a 1 year prove it deal almost right now. If he has any juice left, what I'm saying, you could, exercise your club option at least for the next year. And then that's where Cousins could be a backup study and stuff like that, whatever. Very expensive, backup study, but, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And this pretty much is just a 1 year deal when you look at the language. Don't look at the big dollar, just like we're talking about. When I first saw the number, I was like, what? Hold on. I'm like, what?
I was like, wait, what? What kind of negotiations they got going on here?
Yeah. Is the old Al Davis alive and making these decisions? My gosh.
Probably.
Yeah.
In the grave.
Yeah, right. Oh, damn. Look who's here. Uh-oh. You mind coming up? Oh.
There he is.
Snoop Von Poop. What up, brother? Off the IR, I see. Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Audio.
Said I'm fresh out. Still got the bracelet.
Oh, man.
Jeez. Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
Put us full screen, Snoop. Show all the beautiful people your beautiful face. What up, brother? Cheers.
Buddy.
I don't know. I'm sure if you're allowed to drink coming from where you're coming from. Oh.
You need some water.
He's ready. He's ready. Hey.
I got water. I got plenty of water.
Not the saline, right?
What up, brother? Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Man.
Your son's got to pick it up, man. Especially Grayson Allen. Sorry.
Yeah. He does.
Gee Louise, yo. Like.
So for all the people at home,
Sons.
sometimes you can't. Sometimes you
Never
can't.
trust a Phoenix Suns.
Snoop was just applying for the shooting guard backup position for the Suns, so that's why he was late.
And then I hurt my toe and had to go to the damn doctor. And
Jeez, yo.
Yeah.
You get turf toe in basketball?
Oh man, don't say that because I thought that happened to me a couple weeks ago. So, jeez. I stepped on my toe. I'm like, yo, man. Jeez, big old feet, man.
Yeah. I'll be all right. I'll make it.
I'm glad you're here, Snoop. We just got done with NFL news. We did our normal intro and stuff. Thanks to Jonah for helping out in the background. Any football news that you want to talk about before we move to the NBA? I know me and Nick want to talk possibly a little bit of fantasy with this.
Oh man, I don't know. I wasn't even really ready. Let me see if I had any bookmarks. I think all the bookmarks I have were NBA. I think.
Okay. That's cool.
Right.
That's cool.
Let me see. Yeah.
All right. So Nick, open platform. Heywood, Nick, I want to talk fantasy a few minutes.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to dive into?
Literally talk about whatever you want. But I'm up on my championship games right now at the moment, so looking to keep that going into the weekend so I can bring some hardware back home. There was one league I had no business being in this championship game because literally my roster wasn't great because I basically inherited a roster. And it had like Sabonis and Wagner, like IR immediately almost. And then I had to piece together this team throughout the year. And then stupidly, stupidly, this 10-team league stupidly left guess who on the waiver wire?
Uh-oh.
And I picked him up. And now why? And that's part of the reason why I'm probably in the championship right now.
Who?
Jason Tatum.
You got to be kidding. Somebody dropped them?
They didn't know. They didn't have him on a roster.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Crazy.
Wow.
Because, crazy, right? So I picked him up. I stashed him. I was like, let me just see what happens. Long before, last couple weeks, just in time for me to make these postseason. I told him, I was like, don't let me make the postseason. Don't let me make the postseason with this trash roster. Don't let me make the postseason. And now I'm in the championship game looking to win it all, baby. So
all the people at home, it's NBA Fantasy Championship Week.
Sure
Nick
is.
Wilcox, he's the man when it comes to fantasy. He drops weekly articles over at Fantrax every Monday. So this is his last article of the season. Let's make it special. He's looking to bring, 2 championships home? Right? 2 out of 3? 2 or 3? 2 times. 2 times.
Should have been 3.
Hey, Snoop,
But
Utah, give me 2. That's right. That's just how it goes. It's half luck sometimes, brother. It really is. I've been saying it for years. It's probably a little bit more luck than it is skill nowadays because of just how crazy things are going. It's even more so in silly season. Even more so.
No,
but
you gotta understand. So how I navigate silly season is literally
DFS.
You gotta pay attention. Yes, DFS definitely helps. That definitely helps you at least stay on tabs about certain players that are just gonna get the minutes. It's no different than the regular season, in my opinion, at times, because the only difference is that there's gonna be players you probably never heard of, and they're gonna get a bunch of minutes. So if you didn't do your research or homework on some of these players, then you wouldn't really know who these guys technically are. And then, again, sometimes these guys come out and just, bust on you overall. No homo. And and they could just come out and not have a great performance. And, that just happens. But overall, if you haven't done your background, your research on what a certain player may be able to bring to the table, then you're doing yourself a disservice because this is just part of the year. You got to know and identify these teams and players. For instance, Utah has just been one of the biggest teams that they've started their drop off, several weeks in advance than what they normally would probably do. So the guys that I talked about earlier, even last week with Kenny Chandler, who was getting some minutes. They got Maurice Harkless is I think his brother or whatever, who also plays for Utah. It's gotta understand some of these players that are in these situations, that are tanking, and also you gotta look at some of these players that, because of injury, they're getting these opportunities. So you just have to identify these players, and it helps to be in a daily league, especially. I don't do the weekly or roto leagues or whatever for fantasy basketball. That makes no sense to me because I like to keep things on a daily basis recurring. I play in one league where we don't even have an acquisition limit, meaning
Whoa,
that
I would love that.
You can fill your whole roster up.
I would love that.
You can fill your whole roster up in a day off the waiver wire, and then you can still do that throughout the whole week of the matchup, which I love doing because it just makes sense. Because if you're not paying attention, then why should someone get rewarded for having a better playered roster, so to speak, if they aren't grinding on the waiver wire? So that's just what it is. In one of my leagues, my other league, we still have a lot of acquisitions we can make. So, but we only start 6 guys. So it's that becomes even more narrower too, because you can have a studded lineup, whatever, but you can't even play everybody at certain positions. So
that's tough. That's tough. Holy crap!
Is that common in fantasy? Is 6-man?
No, that's very small
for fantasy basketball.
Yeah,
no,
wow. I was gonna say that's crazy.
No, so it's all about what you're looking at in terms of what your settings are. It's like fantasy football, whatever. You look at your settings, finding out what's going on, look at the waiver wire, and see what you could grab on a daily up to weekly basis at times, and just pay attention to the minutes of volume players are getting, and then the situations. If you're in a category league, that would be a little different than a points league, of course. You know what I'm saying? I've geared more now towards points leagues these days because categories are it's just lame when 3 of the categories, when people play at least 8 or 9. I like playing 8 versus 9. I don't like playing leagues with turnovers because because turnovers and percentages for me just feel icky. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't mind playing those, but it's really random unless you the only way you really win those categories, especially free throw percentage on a weekly basis, is that you already have your stabilized roster like that already do that or get to the cup on a regular basis. So, for instance, like Steph Curry will obviously be one of those guys, and so he'll be him 3-pointer stuff like that, whatever. But again, like the reason why I don't like doing category anymore is because there's just certain things you have to piece together on a weekly basis. For instance, blocks. Like steals are a little bit more easier to kind of do on a regular basis, but blocks, because there's only so many blocks you can do, only guys that can do so many blocks in the league. It's like it becomes a cornerstone. Like, okay, I'm gonna hoard these guys because they're great at blocking. Like I'm just gonna do that because that's just easy for me to do. I'm a corner in the market. I don't mind people doing that. It just feels icky. You know what I'm saying with the percentages and the turnovers for me. So let me just do points league because that just makes too much sense, and that's where the whole fantasy basketball landscape is currently anyway. When you're looking to make some money anyway, DFS.
Two things, Nick. Now that you brought some great points, it kind of reminds me of DFS in the NFL in Week 18. That's what it reminds me of.
No,
like a little bit, right?
Just a tad. And the only reason why I don't, do a 1v1 for that is because Week 18 in the NFL, if your league does it, you shouldn't be playing, because Week 18 you absolutely know most starters are not going to be playing unless they're fighting for something or whatever, something like that for the playoffs or whatever. Then obviously,
what I should have said is late season DFS. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, late season DFS is that's a perfect comparison, I would say, because it is the only difference with silly season, because you just don't know when it's going to initially really start per se.
Yeah.
And it usually starts before the regular season ends for the NBA. So that's what makes it even a bit more difficult to overall calculate and expand upon, because if you don't, like I said, if you don't know some of these players, you might be just be wishing in the wind almost.
Right.
But again, you
that's
gotta
what I do every fantasy season, bro.
Yeah, and that's what we love and hate about fantasy, right? You beat me because this. Yep.
Right. I started seeing
you, man.
Season teams started taking right before the All-Star game this year. That's and you got in some way,
Utah was definitely one of those places.
Yeah. And then
Nurkic,
right. We all lost
seriously?
money. Yeah, we all lost money
what
that game.
The heck, man! Lauri Markkanen just hiding his injuries. It's dude,
what the fuck? Right.
So
it's crazy that NBA fantasy, you have to pay attention to 10-day contract players on teams that are tanking. That's nuts, dude. That's like being a junkie, a nerd about it. Gotta love it.
That's what we love about it too. Though people love being a
nerd shit, bro.
Sure is.
Don't get it twisted.
It sure is.
So since we're diving in a little NBA fantasy basketball, I got Nick's article pulled up. Nick, if you want to go ahead and talk about it, the platform is yours, brother. All you.
Got it. So for all the marbles, baby. It's week 20. It's week 23, and that being said, it's the Jordan number, and got a couple of guys that I'm pretty proud that I wrote up on. Kenny Chandler was someone I just was looking for just opportunity, so he's somewhat hit and miss right now this week. Just reminders about just looking at games and stuff like that throughout the week. Really sets you up for in a position to get yourself a championship, and that's ultimately what you want to do on a week basis. But I think this week, obviously, if you're in a championship game, you're gonna there's players upcoming for the weekend that you gotta pay attention to, because Saturday there's only 3 games. So for Saturday purposes, there's only 6 teams, 3 games that are played. So I would look at the waiver wire tonight to find out if what you got available, what you could possibly scoop up. But Kenny Chandler is someone I think he's still someone that's viable. Isaiah Collier, he still hasn't played at all. Since I wrote this up and this was Monday, so he's someone that he may not give you the highest ceiling or whatever, but he should give you a decent floor. So for Chandler, especially again with Utah, literally they're just doing whatever now. They're just doing whatever. So 32 minutes Wednesday. yesterday, and 40 minutes on what was that? Monday, I think. Was it Monday?
I think it was Monday.
Yeah, Monday. So Chandler was someone he's been pretty modest for you. 16 last game, and then 12 points the other game, with at least 5 assists in both of those games. So I think he's someone that still should be someone that's prioritized, like especially if you're in a category league for assists, like he should already be on your roster. Memphis, if you scroll down a little bit, it's pissing me off a little bit now. Memphis, they're just doing literally whatever to their roster overall lineups, and it's like not consistent at all. When I wrote this, I thought, Rupert was probably the guy because I see him play in Portland before. Tyler Burton, I don't have too much like knowledge about him, but he was solid when he got the minutes. So I put them both here. Burton ended up doing pretty okay, and Rupert didn't play Monday. So this is something that just, again, you just got to be paying attention to how everything goes. And then now Burton's contract is now done with Memphis. So it's you got to keep paying attention, and these things just keep on coming up. So, but to the proud dad moments of this article. So scroll down a little bit. The Raptors guards, man. Jamal Shead has been someone I watched while he was in college. So he was someone I was definitely familiar with coming into the year. His season had looked pretty okay. When he got in the minutes, though, like he really was a nice like guard that can get, set people up assist-wise. So if you were someone that was be able to capitalize on that pretty much throughout the season here and there, along with some steals, like, Jamal Shead was someone that was like I was definitely highly impressed for. And quickly he's now out. I think Ingram's going to miss another game tomorrow. Like, so I hope if Jamal Shead's still on your waiver wire, get him now. Jacoby
Quickly going to be out a while? Sorry. Quickly going to be out a while?
He probably will be out the rest of the week. Probably going to be out the rest of the week, in my opinion. So, thankfully, I wrote these guys both early. Ingram was a late scratch the other day, and I think he'll be out tomorrow now, too. No, he'll be available Friday. Excuse me. So, but either way, I like both of these guys anyway. So, if you were like trying to get an end-of-the-bench guy, like trying to get some production, made sense. Jamal Shead, literally, like he's had at least the last 4 games for Shead, he's had at least 6 assists or more. So,
nice.
Again, like he's one of those guys that sometimes assists are hard to come off the waiver wire, especially if you're in a category league. So, so I scratched that. He's had at least 7 assists in the last 4 games. So, yeah, Jamal Shead for me has been someone I've been pretty impressed with. He gets some steals, he can score here and there. But yeah, he was someone. And again, another guy, Kobe Bryant, who I mentioned a couple weeks ago. We've seen him before he arrived to the Pacers, play on the Clippers, and didn't necessarily get the treatment I feel he deserved. Former forward out of Missouri. And, again, he was able to contribute across the board. And when I wrote him up, he come off a solid game. He's put together 3 solid games in a row. So for points league's purposes, so he's someone that obviously Trace Walker has been out, so still take advantage of that. I haven't given up on Slauson, but he's someone that's just not as consistent. But Kobe Brown's someone that unfortunately I'm playing against him this week in a championship game. So if anyone that's going to go grab him. I think he's just been a solid contributor. I know Siakam has been playing, and he's still been decent. So if Siakam just happens to miss Sunday potentially, I don't know. But Kobe Brown's someone that I think definitely deserves to be on rosters. And then Jericho Sims. So Sims has been a little bit up and down. The person I probably should have put was Giago Dang. From he used to play Osman Dang, excuse me, from the Thunder. He used to play there, but he went the heck off the other night. He had 36, he had 10.
Damn.
So
damn.
Yeah, just he was still percentage wise when I looked it up. I look at my ownerships and stuff. I try to this is a deep league waiver wire, so I try to get some of the guys that aren't as highly owned. Jericho Sims was just one of those guys. He's been up and down. It's kind of like definitely ended the bench, like Nick Richards type of guy. But
In your defense, Nick, sorry to cut you off. In your defense, I believe you write the article at Sunday night, Monday morning. I believe he had a great weekend, Sims. He had a great weekend last week.
Yeah, he did. So it was someone that definitely, again. But sometimes, like for my articles, like some people are like, "Why didn't you write about this person?" I was like, "Well, because his ownership for me was just too high for a deep league wire." So that being said, though, I mean, Jericho Sims is someone that he's put together some decent games. The last game he had 20 rebounds. So, and that was yesterday. So against Houston. So and that game was close. So the minutes have been there. He played 36 minutes last night. So that's pretty huge for end of the bench, fringe starter now in Jericho Sims. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's just you got to keep your eyes peeled on the news. I do think I do think Turner's playing tomorrow. I don't think Portis is. So he's definitely someone that he probably won't get 36 minutes, but he should get at least 28 or more potentially. So that's all I got for all those names as updates. I think that if we're looking ahead, just pay attention to Memphis. Like, they're a pain in the neck. But pay attention to those guys. Pay attention to Warriors guys. And then lastly, Washington, the only team that has a weekend back-to-back. So that's something very crucial because they play on Saturday. So they play they play Saturday and Sunday. So they don't play tonight. They don't play tomorrow. So if you hold on to those Washington players for the weekend, as long as Washington, because they are just, of course, the team that, makes or breaks some people's squads for championship week. As long as you can hold on to those guys, whether it be because I've been able to hold on to Vucevic, who I've talked about a couple of times throughout my articles throughout the year. I'm keeping Koulibaly on one of my rosters right now because obviously Alex Starr is, he's in my IR spot currently. If Gill is still out there, I'll grab him. I think Carrington I saw either got dropped in one of my leagues, so I would say I'll grab him. So anybody in Washington at the moment feels like as long as their lineups concur with what you're seeing, I wouldn't mind getting there and trying to hold down a roster spot for them. So just pay attention to those teams, Memphis, especially Golden State too, because Curry is not gonna. They say he may play Sunday, but I'm not seeing it. They're already in the play-in. They don't have much to play up for anyway. So if Curry does play Sunday, it's just to probably give him a nice little run before the postseason starts.
Some news this afternoon from Curry and the Warriors, which I'll go over, but it looks like Sunday he's looking to play.
Yeah, I figured so. So, yeah, it is what it is. But so I wouldn't – so if a scenario where Curry does play, that doesn't – really move if the guards play because Warriors always chain up their guards. So I wouldn't necessarily target one of those guards. But if Santos is still out there, I think Post is out tonight. But he was someone that I was like, okay, you could still go out and grab as a forward for that team because they're always needing big guys. But I would say that's where I pretty much end with that. But yeah, just it's always the game of just paying attention to waiver wire. So wish me luck on my championships. Hopefully I'll hold out to the leads that I need to and bring home the champion gold, baby.
Let's go.
It's hardware, damn it.
Bring home
Let's
that
go.
hardware.
Literally.
So folks at home, you're spoiled. Nick Wilcox giving you the information you need to bring home some hardware. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on weekly, talking your articles, talking fantasy. Thank you so very much. It's been an honor, and keep it up, man. You got great work inside that head, and you dish it out to everybody. Let's go. He gets an applause, Snoop. Nick Wilcox.
Social. Yo, Grayson Allen, man. Yo, your boy's got to pick it up, man. I'm tired of him. It's cost me a championship.
Hey, Colin Gillespie just set the regular season record for most three-pointers made for the Suns.
Wow, he did?
Yeah.
Wow, that's underrated news.
227,
Wow,
I think.
that's crazy.
Was it Dan Marley's record?
That's wild.
Yeah. It just happened
That's crazy.
I saw it while I was sitting in the ER.
That's wild, man.
Snoop's like, turn the volume up. What am I here?
Well, I have my own room, so I could just press the button. I was
I have my own rooms.
That's how I roll, baby.
All right.
So I want to roll into standings, guys. I got that shared up on the screen, Snoop. Let's go ahead and pull that up, and we'll go over like we do weekly for it. So the Spurs are on fire. 10-0, the last 10.
God. You know what? Don't get me started on that.
I know, right.
I'm facing Wembanyama and win my finals, so yeah,
Right.
figures. But I'm glad he's sitting tonight. Hey! That's good news.
Got some hot teams in the West, man. OKC 9-1 their last 10. The Lakers still tearing it up. Denver's 8-2. Our Suns still sitting in 7. Snoop. We're not going to move up. That's pretty much where we're going to probably be at. It's a wrap for the 7th seed. So, damn, the Lakers caught fire the last month. They definitely moved up.
Boy Luka went off.
Phoenix
Dude.
sucks, man. They're getting their butts blown up by the Hornets. Wow.
Really? What's the score?
You know, it's wild.
108 to 90.
Yeah.
108 to 90, bro.
Mark Williams
Oh,
is
yeah.
Terrible, bro.
Oh, man.
Terrible, yo.
Oh, man. So go to the Eastern Conference. Dude, Atlanta has been killing it. Smashing it.
Yep.
They have climbed.
Sure have.
Man. Yeah.
Sure
They have climbed. Does the Cavs need to be shaking in their boots because the way the Hawks are playing? I mean, that's a potential first-round matchup here, and nothing's really changed other than that in the standings.
Well, I would say this. I think it'd be an interesting matchup, but I don't think they have anything to worry about. I think Atlanta has just been a team that, has just been able to string together some wins. And sometimes that's all you need to head into the postseason for. But honestly, am I really scared of Atlanta? No, I'm not.
Can they win the East?
Atlanta?
Can they? Can the magic happen for them?
Anything's possible, but I don't think that's in the cards.
All right.
I do think they have a solid, I think Jalen Johnson has been one of the surprise over the last 2 years for most people. And then Alexander Walker, who, feel like, he walked away from Minnesota, right? Basically.
Yeah.
There was that. And then Daniels has really come on for them. I really think the missing piece of this team really kind of coming together, really. Because then you got McCollum, who's a veteran that holds some things together. Okongwu, who has been a Lambert with his game ever since Clay Capella left that team. And then, Kuminga has been someone, I think if he consistently steps up, like Kuminga, then they're looking like a team that is a force to be reckoned with because, Lawndale, who's, he's hurt right now, but he's someone that, he can really hold down the fort off the bench, being a center for that team too. So there's a lot to like about Atlanta. I just think they might be a bit ahead of themselves. So I think Cleveland really matched up with them because of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, you know what I'm saying? And the front court and the back court, obviously, with Mitchell and Harden. So like I said, any postseason comes down to your team in terms of the other guys stepping up is what it's always about. So again, that's game after game, not just for one game. Sometimes it's just for one game, but it has to be game after game.
Right. The Raptors have slipped.
Yep.
They're a first-round matchup right now for the play-in. Look at this. They're playing the Hornets as of right now. They have slipped. Boy,
Crazy.
Dude, the Hornets could beat them.
Yeah. It's just because of the injuries. Quickly has been in out the lineup. Jakob Perno been out the lineup almost all year. RJ Barrett, same thing. It's just they've been banged up. So it's kind of well deserved that they're in this spot. You know what I'm saying? So because again, Philly right now is not even in the they're not currently in the play-in right now. So they have the tiebreaker over them currently. So yeah, I mean it's still a jockeying up position as we have 6 or 7 games left in the NBA season. So a lot of jockeying for position still because right now Miami is the 10 seed right now. And we just talked about them last week. You know what I'm saying? As the 7th, you know what I'm saying? 7 or 8. Talk about a potential Philly and Miami matchup, and now all of a sudden it's everything's tilted on its head. So yeah, every win is gonna matter for these next, we have 6 teams between Atlanta, Philly, Toronto, Charlotte, Orlando, and Miami. It's really going to depend on now it's like, all right, like these teams can't ill afford to be resting their starters unless they absolutely have to. So Joel Embiid, I know, is sitting for tomorrow. Thank you. There is a gun. Sorry. So there is that. But I think we all thought Boston was going to come in over shake Detroit. That didn't happen. Detroit held firmly to the 1 seed because they're officially they've clinched the division but not the conference. But it's unless there's a complete debacle collapse, I don't see Boston now taking over Detroit for the 1 seed, which I think we all firmly thought was going to happen. So we'll just see how Detroit holds it down. But I think the Eastern Conference is definitely, of course, wide open as it usually always is. I still think Boston is the best team based on they're the reigning champs. It's just what it is. So, but I still think I'm still holding on to my guns. I still think Cleveland is the one team that I'm like, I think they can put it all together from a series by series basis and potentially reach the finals. So that's just what I got for the East.
So looking at the matchups now, this might be my most there's a lot of good matchups. As a fan, I would love to see this Nuggets Rockets series. I would love to see that. I think the Lakers Timberwolves would be a good series. That's a good matchup. Knicks Sixers, Cavs Hawks, like you were saying, and dude, the playoffs gonna be exciting. Exciting. And like you said, it in the East it is wide open. I tend to lean your way with Boston on paper is the best team. But we'll see what happens, brother. Right. Definitely see what happens.
I agree. For the Western Conference, for me, what comes up is we're still keeping tabs on at least because the only thing that could really change up some things, not really change up things, but can change if the Spurs end up catching the Thunder. I don't think that's going to happen, but crazier things have happened with 6 games left to go. And then the Lakers firmly, firmly in a 3 or 4 seed for the most part. I don't think the Rockets end up getting to that 3rd seed because they're 3 games back of the Lakers right now. They are a game and a half back of the Nuggets right now. And then Minnesota, they could probably get the 5 seed, potentially 4 seed. There's still a lot of jockeying for position between 3 and 6. So there could be a lot of change over there too. But it's Thunder or the Spurs for the 1 seed or 2 seeds, and then it's everybody else. And then obviously the play-ins are pretty much all but decided. Probably be Clippers. It's pretty much going to be a Suns, Clippers, or Trailblazers, Warriors, or whatever. Any 4 of those teams I just mentioned, there's pretty much going to be a jockeying for matchups at that point because I don't see the Clippers taking over the Suns for the 7 seed. Even if they lose tonight, which they're getting their asses whipped by. And I obviously there's, like I said, it's just going to be a matching up for the play-in. So the West play-in is pretty much a lock for those teams. But I would say matchups-wise for first round could be really interesting for the West. What I don't want to see is Denver, Minnesota. I don't want to see that as the first round.
Right.
I don't want to see that in the first round. I wouldn't mind if the playoff standings ended today. I would like this, especially for Minnesota, because if Minnesota plays the Lakers,
they match up well against them.
I think they can match up with the Lakers that they could beat them in a 7-game series. I know Luka, LeBron, all respect to them. I just don't. And Austin Reeves obviously came back, so that's huge.
Didn't they beat him in 5 games last year? 6?
Minnesota
was it 5?
did?
Yeah, wasn't it 4?
I think it was 5.
5,
I think it was 5 last year. And that's just because, again, no Anthony Edwards right now either. He played the other night, but I don't think he's playing tomorrow. So obviously got to get him ready for the first round. And I just think Minnesota has a lot of length on that team. And overall, a few more contributors off the bench that could really, keep the glue to this team going moving forward. And that's what you'll need in general for the postseason. But it remains to be seen how things really transpire. But if everything stood as it is today, I would love it. I don't want Minnesota and Denver to play the first round. That would suck. for betting purposes. For betting purposes, so I'm being selfish. I wouldn't mind seeing the matchup. I just want to see it, especially for a conference final.
Did you put some action on that when we did that one day on Minnesota? Did you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Let's go.
I gotta stick by something, you know.
Why you
Yeah,
guys go with the devil horns, man? Jeez.
Oh, come on. I'm a metalhead. Whatever. I learned it from you, Snoop.
Whatever.
I've learned it from you at the ER.
Oh, okay.
Sick.
I don't know what that means, but that's weird. I met you at the ER.
No. So it looks like the Heat is going to the ER. They need to stop slipping, Snoop. What's going on, brother? Come on. Come on.
Heat checking.
I blame Pat Riley.
I blame Pat Riley.
I mean, I don't know. They didn't make a move at the deadline, and I really
surprisingly,
thought they could have, you know.
I mean, who do you want them to get though at the deadline?
Well, listen, they legit could have had Giannis if they probably put the right offer. If they put the right offer on the table, they could have had Giannis. Be honest.
Right. No, yeah, no, I agree.
He's right. He's right.
I agree with that.
I don't know if I want to give up. I don't want to give up Rare and Hero.
What the deal would have been? Who? What?
Hero and where?
Hero,
I'll be honest.
Like
Rare and Hero
and Davion Mitchell.
I mean, I guess you give up Hero and Ware, like he just said.
Yeah.
That's what Milwaukee wanted.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I like Ware a lot. Like I would have, before he put up 83 points this season, I would have much rather maybe traded Bam instead of Hero and Ware. You know what I'm saying?
True, but keeping Bam and Giannis would have probably been the goal.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know. It's just you'd have to see how they play together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it would have been better to maybe have him and Hero, like Giannis and Hero, with Ware. You know what I'm saying? And then like a nice point guard, which Mitchell's been playing great for the Heat. And the young guy, I don't even know how to say his name.
Larson?
No,
Larson,
Cosper,
maybe.
whatever. He's got a lot of control. I don't know how to say his name.
Davion.
The rookie.
Adam Scheffner with a T. This actually could be beneficial for your team. You might have to maybe not offer as much as they wanted in the offseason. It could benefit you. It could. I know Giannis
It doesn't help this season.
I know Giannis's list. You were second on his list, and you guys were in strong talks. I don't know if I would have give up Hero, Rare, and some first round picks. I don't know.
Of course, when I said those were the deals I said earlier with just those names. Of course, picks have to be involved as well.
Right.
But I think legit Giannis is going to end up in New York or Miami, one of the two.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be interesting. New York.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, New York. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Minnesota. I thought Minnesota would probably been a little bit of a dark horse.
Giannis don't want to go to Minnesota.
Guess where he was looking at houses last week?
Thank you.
I want to see if it snows. I'm going to see if it snows in Greece.
Guess where he was.
Yes. He was looking at homes last week with a certain good friend of his in Portland.
What's Portland?
He's best friends with Dame.
Another small market, though?
He was looking at homes last week. He didn't buy a home. He was looking at homes.
I have interesting news that I was going to share later, but let me bring it up right now because Portland just sold. Did you guys know that the Portland team just sold?
I did.
No, I didn't know.
Here, I have it right here. Let me pull it up real quick.
But I don't.
Trailblazers got sold that fast?
Yeah.
So that's interesting because if he goes there, and like him and Dame, I think wanted to play together.
Yeah, they're really close, and it doesn't make sense off the top of the head. Like Nick's reaction, that was my reaction. Like I didn't freaking like what, but he loves small markets. He does, like he does. Giannis does, and him and Dame are really close, and they have tons of pieces to get him. They have tons of pieces. If I was Milwaukee, I would pick apart that roster if that was in the cards. because they do have players, young players, and they have a lot of picks.
So yeah, here's the NBA communications. NBA Board of Governors approved sale of the Portland Trailblazers to an investment group led
Sounded
by
a couple of days
Tom
ago.
Dundon.
Yep.
Yeah.
It did. Wow.
Is it
Interesting.
Dundon or redundant?
Heywood's English class.
Heywood teaches English.
Oh boy.
With our boy
boy.
Wentz, Snoop.
Look out.
Oh boy.
My Suns are getting stomped by the Hornets. Good lord.
Oh, this guy just doesn't get up.
Wow.
Jeez.
Just wow. Never put your money on the Suns, people. Never put your money on the Suns.
Well, you put money on my Suns tonight?
Sure did.
Oh boy.
Plus 6.5. I thought it was decent, especially getting Mark Williams back tonight.
Yeah, and going against his old team too.
Got crushed.
Oh man.
Got
That
crushed.
explains why you're throwing all this shade over here.
I mean, I was gonna
On
do
the
it anyway. It's
Arizona.
Phoenix. It's Phoenix. And it's Devin Booker.
We could use
you
the
know how I
shade,
feel
to be
about Devin
honest.
Booker. So
We'll turn you around on that.
I mean,
I want to pull up the big news of the week from the NBA. I got an article here. I would like to
yeah, the big
just
news
share.
is right.
It is.
The big
This
news
is-
is right.
So, Snoop, if you don't mind, since my English is off, go ahead and read
It
the
is.
folks the first
Read?
first paragraph or two.
Oh, I can't read it from the screen.
The
I
Chicago
do.
Bulls waived guard Jaden Ivey for conduct detrimental to the team Monday, hours after he posted a lengthy video rant on social media about religion, and other topics that included anti-gay sentiments. Ivey has gone live on his Instagram more frequently in the past week, posting at least 3 lengthy videos after he was shut down for the rest of the season by the team because of injury last Thursday. So yeah, basically, I'm not sure if people watched the video or whatever. I guess my whole thing is with all this is just having some time to reflect on it. Is that what he was saying wasn't necessarily wrong. The problem is that when you work for an organization like the Chicago Bulls, when you work for an organization like the NBA, there's going to be people in those positions that control, like your contract, where your future may end up, stuff like that. And if you end up just saying things that are just out of pocket, I'm not saying it was out of pocket. I'm saying he could have just rephrased how he said some things better. And that's where it comes for me, because as being someone that, overall is of Christ, and, Jesus did die for my sins, and that's where I stand from personally. That just doesn't mean I can come out and just say this agenda is going on, this person, that person, and point fingers and stuff like that. It's like you just can't, because especially if you're getting paid to do, what you call yourself a dream job or whatever and stuff. It's like there's certain things you just can't say, because there's just going to be consequences regardless anyway. And, I have no problem with someone saying what they believe in. Do I think the LGBTQ community and stuff like that, like, I have nothing against them. I don't care who or whatever you're with, or, whatever your relationships is. I don't really care about that. I really evaluate people on people, and, that's just that. I don't really care what their, sexuality is or whatever. It's just more about, like, look, like, there's just certain things that you just can't say when you're employed by a certain place, because at the end of the day, they can take it all away from you. So with that being said, was it deserving of Jaden Ivey to be released by the Chicago Bulls? Yes and no, because the fan base of Chicago are full of people who, are in that arena. Not just, LGBTQ, but anti-Semitic stuff and all that. So the there's big, like, Jewish communities out in Chicago and stuff like that. So again, like, there's just things you could say. There's just certain things you can't outrightly say to the extent that he did. And
it's
nothing
important.
problem what he said. It's just more about, like, there's just certain ways you just have to frame it. You didn't frame it very well.
Like, you have freedom of speech, but sometimes it can come with consequences, because like you said, it's the employer's discretion, whether or not they want to do that. I saw something the other day, this big deal about like somebody wouldn't serve this guy because he was wearing maybe a Trump hat or something, and like they refused to serve him, and then like the video went viral, and then the employees got fired and whatnot. Like it was a big ordeal. And it's like, well, they didn't judge him based on anything other than they have the right to not serve who they want. It wasn't like based on racism or anything like that or sexuality. It was just like because he of a candidate that he supports. So, I don't know. It was really weird, but people were defending the employees, and I'm like, no, they deserve to get fired because you can't just not serve because of what they're wearing. Like you're wearing a red shirt. I can't serve you today.
This is where some of this stuff for me, like it gets too, it just gets too personalized too quickly. Like I feel like we're in such this emotional, like political, and it's just that. Am I still here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're in this emotional, like, political bubble. And it's like, you can't, there's certain things you can just say, of course, obviously it's freedom of speech. Like you said, certain things you just can't say because there's definitely going to be some, severe consequences potentially because of it. But there's also people trying to bait each other to just say this, or what do you believe in? And what do you think about this? Da, 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 da. And it's like, you don't really want to know what I believe. You just want to try to catch someone to say something for a soundbite or try to ostracize someone just because they said that or whatever. Or they do believe in it, and the fact that you don't believe in it at all, you just want to get someone to say something like that and try to catch somebody overall is what I like to say. So it's really like it's just the political, emotional bubble that we're in right now when it comes to stuff like this. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong per se for saying what they believe in. It's just more about, again, like there's certain things you do, you go to school for. there's things that there's just things that are politically correct, right? And then there's things also where you just, if you're in a safe space and that's what you believe in and whatever, okay, what I'm saying? Like, but again, it's tough being these athletes in general because they're every any little
thing, spotlight,
anything, it's like, yep, we're always watching you, bud. Oh, yep. Oh, I seen this guy being recorded in the coffee shop and he said this or he did this. And there you go. TMZ has it in the next couple hours. Did you see what Nicholas Wilcox did today? Oh, he was shouting at this woman at the coffee shop. Like, it's like, okay, I was shouting at her because I knew her and best friends. Hey, no problem. Oh, sorry, yeah, shut up.
I got a video I would like to show of Jaden Ivey after he got released by the Bulls. Shout out to the Myers Show. Thank you for the repost. Appreciate the support. This is, I believe, after he got the news, so let's take a listen.
They said my conduct is detrimental to the team, right? Why didn't they just say we don't agree with his stance on LGBTQ? Why didn't they say that? Well, how is it conduct detrimental to the team? What did I do to the team? What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them. Said good job, good shot. I said good job, good pass, way to play, bro. Right? I said these things to my teammates. Was never detrimental to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Because I believe in the truth. Because I know Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. How? How is my conduct detrimental to the team? Because of what I believe. Because of what the truth is.
The only other thing is with combined with that was, and this is where like my firm belief that is like it was off-putting. You know what I'm saying? What he said, it was talking about unrighteousness. that for me was like, that got me because I was like, yo, like, there's people out here that are just, they're going to be who they're going to be. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were taught at a young age how to act most times, right? Most people were taught how to act in a mannered manner. I don't believe that when people are parents or whatever or somebody, I don't think they're going to tell them to be this way, to act out, to rage on or do whatever. Or this, I don't believe in that. I do believe that we still have households that are trying to prepare kids for as best they can, and the fact that the unrighteousness and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, we're celebrating unrighteousness. That's not, no. I don't want to celebrate unrighteousness. I don't, at least. And the fact that was something he definitely mentioned was like something for me. I was like, definitely, it was like, okay, I can understand where he's coming from for sure. And yeah, he answered his own question, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He did. He did answer his own question. And that's just what it is too, though. And I think also it's like, little by little, it's like more things are starting to come out in general about our sports leagues. So, those conspiracy theorists are starting to win, I see.
Hey, have we met, Nick? What's up, bro?
Snoop on Poop.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Phone Booth Productions in the house, baby.
So
Let's
you want to
go
go over a couple? I have a few lined up if you want to talk about them. Listen, I got one lined up.
Hold on. I need to talk about this.
No, you don't.
No, I do. This sets at home. I'm a man of Christ, I believe. Yes, in the workspace, you don't talk about this stuff just because, even though it is free speech, I see both sides. I don't like what happened. I think there needs to be more love maybe from the NBA as far as how they went about it, because he kind of got, it was kind of like, hey, we're just releasing you, nothing positive about it. They should have flipped it into a positive. I don't like what happened. Yeah, he should have probably not said the certain things he did. And, I mean, if you're a believer, it's not right to be in another bed with the same sex as you if you're a believer. That's just how it is. But there's certain things you just don't say in public. So, poor guy, he probably is never going to play in the NBA again.
Nope.
He probably isn't.
He's probably going to get the Colin Kaepernick treatment,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And
This sucks, dude, for him. Maybe he can go play with Dwight Howard over in China, but his NBA career is done, unfortunately. And the guy's got some talent. Kid's a good kid too.
I remember Jaden Ivey. He was fifth overall pick a couple years ago. So
yeah,
it's like, hey, if he could get the axe, anybody can.
Go ahead, Snoop. Thank you.
All right. So we were just talking. Conspiracies might be right.
Yep.
So your boy Steph Curry, who you mentioned earlier, he's got a new logo for his brand here, and look at this.
Really?
You can clearly see the 666.
Whoa!
I think I said all-seeing eye, but you can see that too.
This
Yeah,
of course. But boom, there it is, 666 Curry.
I don't see 6. I just see a bird.
Yeah, sure you do.
I see a dove.
This is brand new. Then I never heard this news.
Yeah, no, that just came out 11 hours ago.
Crap. Nick sees birds. So
and today, April 2nd, just so you guys know, today is 6 years and 66 days since Kobe died.
Wow, no shit.
Yep.
Oh.
It's today, right?
Yep. 4-2 backwards is 24. Kobe wore 24, if you didn't know.
No, he wore number 8 too.
He
For
did.
a while.
Did. Who would you guys take?
But
8 or 24? Kobe.
So
Which version of Kobe would you guys have? 8 or 24?
8. I love
Snoop?
24, but 8.
That's tough. Because
eight's how I remember him, and well, not how I remember him, but it's like that's my era, Kobe. number 8.
Yeah.
24 is not exactly my era Kobe 24, but it is. So,
All right. Good time in Snoop with the Steph Curry. I got some Steph Curry news I want to show real quick. Let's go ahead and share that one here. Let me know when I'm good. We good?
Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Now you're good.
Oh, thanks.
I'm totally just messing with you, too.
We heard yesterday from the Golden State
Thanks, wise ass. Love you too.
Golden State Warriors that Steph is able to practice 5-on-5 for the first time. So what does that mean for his timeline to return here?
Malika, I'm told that Stephen Curry has a goal to return to action on Sunday at home against the Houston Rockets. That's what he wants. That's his desire. But the next several days are going to be a vital period to see how does his knee respond to the 5-on-5, to additional workouts over the next several days. This is a big time for Steph Curry to check boxes and see, can he make it back and get clearance to come back Sunday or Tuesday at home against the Kings after 2+ months off. He's had multiple starts and stops throughout this, though, Malika. There's been missed targets throughout the last several weeks. But this does feel different internally with the Warriors because now Steph finally got in that 5-on-5 scrimmage. He's encouraged. My understanding is he felt good. He came out of that 5-on-5 well. Internally, the Warriors this week have framed it as a make or break time for Steph Curry to either make it back or get shut down. Stephen Curry is looking at Sunday potentially for his return.
Curry coming back, it looks like, as you talked about earlier, Nick. Can they make any noise in the playoffs?
Nah.
I don't think so either.
Curry, I just think that the Warriors know that they don't have it. They know they don't. The pieces that they have, I like some of the pieces they have, don't get me wrong. They're nowhere near championship caliber, and they're nowhere near, if you're playing OKC or San Antonio Spur, if you get out the play-in first round, I don't think they make any noise against either of those teams. So,
I honestly don't. I'm surprised they kind of made that Porzingis deal. I thought I would have tanked if I was them personally. I just would have.
I don't mind Porzingis on this team. So when it gets back, it's what potential projected starting lineup is Porzingis, Draymond, Curry, and who plays the wings?
Next year, Butler if he comes back, but
I'm not talking about even next year. I'm talking about now.
Right now.
Yeah, I know.
Pods,
Santos,
Pods,
potentially. So it's again, that's not enough. So I think you obviously made the play for Porzingis because you got a decent deal on that. Because Porzingis, Porzingis is not too far removed from being, really decent alpha-ish center in the NFL. I mean, the NBA. And I just think that you go for a deal like Porzingis just for next year, and obviously they made that deal before the Butler injury, so it is what it is. But yeah, Butler coming back another year older and stuff like that. It's like, what do you do with this Warriors roster moving forward?
Right.
So,
how much longer does Curry have? He's getting up there.
You got 3 more years. 3 more years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be seeing what goes, but I know the Warriors are going to have to do something over this offseason to really, turn some things around. Whether it be, if you go in, trade up your future, you give up Butler and Porzingis and some other assets for Giannis. Or, if the Lakers are really going to be done with LeBron, because LeBron has just to segue into LeBron, right? LeBron has a couple options, right? And they're not exactly his option, so to speak, anymore, because the Lakers, they got to move on. They got to get younger, right?
Yep.
LeBron, you're either going to come and take a huge pay cut to stay with us, and you're not going to be the focal point of this team anymore completely. It'll be third option at best. Or we let you go, and you end up going wherever you want to go. You go back home to Cleveland to finish off your career. Right. You go to Miami, or whatever. Just you can go do you.
Do you think some team finds a heart and drafts Bryce
for leverage purposes? Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah. I can see that happening. And obviously, Bryce is a better prospect than Bronny, so it would be a little bit more legitimized. I'll just say that. But I do think that it wouldn't be crazy to see LeBron in a Golden State Warrior uniform.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I thought that earlier this season. I thought he was going to go there. Maybe
It's possible.
But
It's still possible. It's still on the table for me. Still on the table for me. You don't have to go up. You don't have to go anywhere really too far. You want to go back to Cleveland, you can. That's still an option. Like I'm saying, and now in the current roster structure of that team would be pretty massive. Actually, if he actually up going back to Cleveland, if he wanted to do some type of farewell tour, but he'd still have a really competitive roster to take over the Eastern Conference if they kept Harden and stuff like that together. So yeah, we're just gonna. Let's see how that all shakes out for between Curry, LeBron, some of the older guys in the league. But I think as though that anything's possible when it comes to the NBA, especially because the NBA feels like every 2 years there's always a shakeup.
100%.
There's a shakeup, yeah. So,
I would say plus 150 Golden State, plus 300
plus 150.
Cavaliers. Yeah, for odds.
Next year?
If I'm putting the line out right now for LeBron's next team, plus 150 Golden State, plus 300 Cleveland, and a dark horse Las Vegas expansion team next year.
No, not going to happen. Nope.
You never know.
Nope, I know, but nope.
If he's part owner, he wants that. He wants to do.
If he's part owner, that would make things more interesting. I'll just say that.
No team has yet
more interesting.
Bought that expansion team, and one of his goals is to own an NBA team and play while he owns it. So you heard it here. If it happens.
That's possible. That is possible. I know he said it. The only reason why I say I dismiss it right away is because you all know how LeBron likes to construct teams. So It's like, that's the thing there. It's like you're going to have some type of, formidable star that actually wants to be on that team with him too, to really okay, then we can make that expansion team happen.
All right.
He doesn't want to play for a freaking franchise that's going to lose every game.
Right.
Well, mostly every game, in the teens of wins, that's your send off. No.
All right. I will say this, man. LeBron is taking care of his body to play this level for this long at this
That
age.
happens with modern technology. Modern technology.
Well, I would put all that money into my body too.
I think we're saying the same thing.
So a few weeks ago, we talked about one topic that's been hot on the show is the tanking, especially a few weeks ago, and we continue to talk about it. So the league is proposing some ideas for some rules to be instated. I got another video by Shams I would like to share. You gonna mess with me this time, Snoop? Am I good?
And go.
Proposals. We welcome in the man who reported on this. And Shams, I'm hoping you can help me explain this a little bit better than I just did. What more can you tell us about these proposals and the tanking that the league is trying to fix here?
Malika, in talking to stakeholders over the last 24 hours, one thing that's been made very clear to me is there are no perfect solutions to tanking and the problem that the league has identified. All three of these radical new changes, these concepts that were given to the league's board of governors, they're put in place potentially to prevent teams and de-incentivize teams from jockeying for the bottom of the NBA, to manipulate the rosters, manipulate the lineups. So let's take a look at all three of these different formats, these different concepts. I'll start with the two 18-team formats. This variation we're looking at here now has flattened odds. So the top 10 teams all have the same chance for the number one pick. It really mitigates teams from trying to lose or try to get to their pick protection potentially, because it goes back to what the NBA used to have, which is flattened odds. The second variation of the 18 teams format has been dubbed internally around the league as the 5x5. That means that the bottom 5 teams in the NBA will then have equal odds for the top NBA draft pick. And then the 22-team format is the same 18 teams we've been talking about, plus the 4 first-round exits. So that does make it a little interesting, a little exciting. That has the 2-year records, though, as the weighted pool. And that's similar to the WNBA. And this will also have the win total floor accounted for. So let's say if you win 14 games and the floor is 25 games, well, you get bumped up to 25 games as far as how the NBA is going to handle the draft lottery. And so that mitigates teams trying to lose. Let's say you need to get to 16 wins to get your protected pick. So all of these concepts will continue to be modified. All the owners are going back to their general managers, their president, talking through these concepts, digesting them, seeing the ramifications at play here, the unintended consequences as well. And around all of this, Malika, I'm told Adam Silver will also expect to have wide-ranging disciplinary powers that if there are offenders to these rules after the tanking concept is put into place, that he's going to have even wider powers to potentially have an impact around the league.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not bad proposal. Something needs to be done. That was the news, I believe, what, yesterday or today?
I think that was a couple days ago.
Say that again, you cut out.
I think that was a couple of days ago.
A couple days ago? Okay, but
Yeah.
hopefully they get something figured out. You know,
That's where my whole thing with that really is. Like, the tanking stuff is like definitely a problem. It's definitely a problem. And you definitely have to get that straightened out one way or another.
Get rid of the draft.
No, you can't do that.
Yes, absolutely, because then people can bid for the best player.
that's another way
And
of
they
doing
keep it.
Nope, because that means all your small market teams will never have the opportunity.
it. Good point, Nick.
They'll never have the opportunity.
Oh, why?
Well, think about it, right? So, for example, let's just go over this scenario, right? I own the Milwaukee Bucks. You own the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Let's have a bidding war for these overall. You drop all the rookies into free agency. Now we have a bidding war, just like free agency market goes. Now you're talking about, so-called a formerly the guy that would have probably won number one overall pick. Like now, in a bidding war with myself and you, all right? Now we're bidding for this guy. I only have a certain amount of cap space because although I have great ticket sales and people come through year by year, whatever have you, it's nowhere near the LA city market that LA would be. So at the same time, your cap room is way bigger than mine. So what does that mean?
And it can still work. I'm just saying, when you get rid of the draft, you get rid of the tanking and trying to secure that early pick. Like if it's everybody has an open pool and can spend the money, they can go anywhere.
It makes it too, because even baseball doesn't do that. So my whole thing with that is the premise of if you're going to do something with the draft, you're going to have to do it in a way that is more refined, obviously. So I like the 18, I like the flat ratings. I like that more like than the other options. Because the other options become a bit more too much. The 22 idea sounded like a great idea, like the first four playoffs. That makes some sense to mix in. But I still only like that because those teams are more than likely are one piece away from probably really making a deeper run. And that doesn't exactly make it equal. So this is the tough part with the draft lottery right now. But what I'll say is I just think that the process is right now currently like it is weird. I mean, even NFL, they don't have these other problems really in a way because it's kind of just straightforward. The problem with the NBA right now, it's like, teams do this way too soon. Like literally, like they know if they don't have a chance, like even close to even having a chance at the playoffs, it's nothing. And then people are recommending, the players play out tournament, whatever, for the number one spot. Like that's stupid because why would the players who, especially if you're a free agent for some of these rosters, like heading to free agents next year, no, they're not gonna play for these. They're gonna play that as part of even the regular season. They'll just fake an injury. Like, oh no, I'm not doing that. No, my ankle.
To both of you guys have good points on each of it. What if each team had the same amount of capital to spend, like a cap for just draft, no draft, just I have 10, 15 million a season to sign rookies and people out of college or players out of college. Everybody has the same like cap on what you spend. It just needs to be changed. Totally right. No matter what happens, just make the league freaking better because this is this is horrible, man. It still is. Like I kind of checked out of, some of the NBA, because of it.
The tanking needs to just be held more in check. I think if the tanking gets held more in check by like Adam Silver and stuff like that, whatever, if it gets held more in check, like literally like what he did with Utah, actually, right? The Yusuf Nurkic thing. It's like, yo, like, didn't they fine them? Like, I think they fined them
$500,000.
Yeah. So yeah, stuff like that has to be more, on the book, because if it's not, then it's like, then it becomes, a situation where we don't got to even play half our roster throughout the whole year. So,
Right.
This guy said his ankle hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there proof? Well, I don't know. You have to ask him.
All right. Carter was on a couple weeks ago, and he brought up a point. He's like, what if each team had like an independent contractor that just reviewed teams' protocols on players, like each game they're rated, and then gets reported back to the league. Like that'd be kind of different. That was kind of a cool point. Thank you, Peace Jen, for reposting. Good day, mate, as they say.
Foray.
Is that Foray?
Yeah. Thank you, Foray.
All right. Thank you, Foray. Thank you. On to our next news, and we're picking on Heywood.
Look who else? Poochoo Patriot. Couldn't agree more. Get right first for all those
That's
falls in
late.
place. That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was. We're talking about Puka Nacua checking into rehab, but ever since I talked shit about Luka a couple weeks ago, he's been rampage. He's been on one. So he was the NBA Player of the Month this month. Just got announced today. These are the points scored for the whole month of March. Look at the gap between our guy Devin Booker and Luka. The guy's just been on one. He's been freaking tearing crap up. And look at some of these games he had.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So he became the 15th, or he got 15,000 career points, youngest as a guard in NBA history. He got that. Check this stat out. Luka had more points in the month of March this season than Anthony Davis had in his entire Mavericks career. Wow. That's amazing. Another thing is he's the first player in NBA history in a month to have 500 points, 35 steals, and 53s. He's been on one. Are you playing against him in fantasy? Nick?
I eliminated that team this last week.
Yeah. So
fortunate. Very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, he's been on one. And dude, so I saw like a picture of like physique from last summer. He's lost like 50 pounds, like almost.
It's the right motivation, the Cali motivation,
Yeah. Good for him, man. Good for him.
Hurry up and get bounced in the first round.
Right. That's crazy about him having more points in the month of March than AD had in his entire Maverick career.
It's wild.
That's fucking wild, dude. I had to pull that up.
Insane.
Another thing I would like to talk about is Joker. He becomes third player. MVP? Yeah, in my opinion. He's now the only players in NBA history to average a triple-double in consecutive seasons is Joker and Westbrook. Westbrook's done it four times. And now I looked this up. Oscar Robertson averaged a triple-double for one season. The next season after that, he only had 9.7 rebounds a game, so technically he didn't. I questioned this stat by DraftKings when I saw this post, and I had to look it up. But yeah, dude, Joker, real MVP, as Nick Wilcox would say.
Yeah, he's a real MVP, honestly. The only difference between him and Westbrook, like, obviously for the MVP triple-double, like, consecutive seasons, was, like, with Westbrook, it was, like, he couldn't get his teams, like, over the hump constantly. It's like, with Jokic, it's, like, with him, he's the engine that makes it all go. And especially when, like I say before, and I say it again, Jamal Murray, when he is on, he is one of the best guards in the
and he's been on one. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. He's fourth in the league in three-pointers made. He's 6 in points and 6 in assists, I believe. That dude is, Denver's, watch out for Denver, man. They're good, dude. I would not want to play them in the playoffs.
No, the thing is with a 7-game series with Denver though, it's like they are somewhat easier to figure out though. So that's like now it's like all right, like I know if we take away Murray, Jokic got to score 40 on us to win. So otherwise, you're gonna have other guys that gotta step up, like the Cameron Johnsons, the Tim Hardaways, the Bruce Browns, that roster. Aaron Gordon when he's healthy, you know. So yeah, like
how's the kid Watson been playing since he's been back?
He's been okay.
Been okay.
All
right.
Yeah, he hasn't been nothing like what he was doing before the injury, but definitely someone to watch out for. I do think he has talent. So.
Right. Snoop, you got some NBA you want to talk about? Some other things?
Yeah, so I don't know. Nick's probably not gonna like this tune none, but
wait, why?
Because like I think it's rigged, and you disagree, but let me pull this up here. Everything, all of it, everything. The NFL, the NBA, MLB, the whole world. Taxes.
I mean, something's got to be rigged too. Some things have to be rigged to a degree, right? Not everything.
But so let's watch this play by your boy Donovan Mitchell. I'll pull this up right here. This is from a couple of days ago. I think it was the 30th. I think it was from.
Yeah.
Let me make it full screen first. Okay,
yeah.
The over-under 238. Mitchell does this. They're left at 236 on the court. They started booing him, yelling at him, and they fixed game opinions. So let's watch this and then explain it to me. Hold on, let me rewind it. There we go.
Here we go.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Here we go.
Right?
Did he need another assist for 10?
Go.
What game was that?
The Sixers Cavs game.
Well, that was a couple months ago.
Snoop, the roof was open. It was the wind.
Is that a thing?
No. Maybe he needed the over on his assists. I don't know.
I mean, that's wild, right?
Sixers Cavs game. When was that? That was a while ago. Yeah.
March.
It was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Okay. The post is from March 30th. So yeah, the game could have been before that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, look, sometimes these things can get out of context. Like, they can just be taken out of context. It's not like the Cavaliers, like, the line of that game, they won by, 14? And the line was 14 and a half.
Oh, wow. That's another one to throw on there.
Well, the over-under was 226, so let's
238. It said here. Wait, it said over under 238.
Nah, 226 was for what I got. The closing odds was 226 when the game ended for closing odds for the over under. Now probably someone may have taken that live 238. That's a big over under.
That could have been a live line too.
That's definitely a live line because I'm sure they definitely had. They definitely probably yeah. No.
So like
So that's fake news. Like someone's lying in their post. Because 238 is way too much. 226 was the line. But anyhow, look, I think that is there some rigging in between some of these sports? Yeah, come on. Like I'm not gonna be naive to that. I don't think that it's a complete like every game, everything is fixed. No, I don't believe that. But I do believe.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that that's true. Like I really do, because like I'm such a believer. Like I was a ball boy for the Suns, man.
And you love it, and you love basketball.
Like I want to believe that it's not. But man, it's just like fucking gets hard when you start learning how money works. Things change a bit.
Well, the thing is also is that look, I'm not naive to like is there certain things that are rigged? Because look, it happens in college basketball a lot more than you think. Because it's more the regulations on it. Even in this modern era, there's still ways to manipulate it at different levels, and we can't be naive to how the mobs or whatever have ran some of these things behind the scenes through
or the inner circles of players that
I'm saying
that do this.
And some people owe someone money or whatever, stuff like that, and that's how that starts too. So, like, let's not be naive to that. The problem is, like, how can you catch that in real time? That's the real thing. How can you catch that in real time, and how can you profit from it? So that's without knowing all behind the scenes information. So we know the game we're playing. It's just, do we have all the information? Is the real question. No, most times we don't. So there you go.
Hey, you don't.
Exactly. Otherwise, I'd be a multi-millionaire in betting if I knew all the answers.
Cheers.
If I knew, I'd be a multi-millionaire when it comes to betting. You know what I'm saying? But I only make enough. So
Snoop, any other NBA stuff? I got a few Suns things I would like to talk about, but other than that,
yeah, I mean, we probably have the same one. This is probably my last topic here is just Amare.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I saw that interview. Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, I mean, I'll pull it up real quick since I'm already here.
Yeah, pull it up, baby.
Standing tall and talented.
Amare Stoudamire is officially a Hall of Famer. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
Suns fans go crazy. Woohoo.
Dude, he was I'll be honest with you, I'm a little surprised.
He was fine. Like,
he was on that line.
But
KJ deserves it more than him. Sorry, he does. He does.
Well, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Amare definitely deserves it. Nothing to discredit him, but
right.
Yeah, KJ deserves it, and KJ's been retired longer.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of backlash for KJ for his off the court issues over those years for the NBA. But KJ's literally good for Stat. One of the greatest, nicknames, Stat, standing tall and talented.
You guys got to excuse me for a second. My dog's going crazy. You're gonna have to excuse me for a second.
Who let the dogs out?
Hey, ironically, my dog is named Tank. Just like the fucking we've been talking about tanking. Let me just see what the fuck's going on. I'll be right back.
But we were talking about Amare a few weeks ago after you left the show with me and Snoop, and I didn't know this. He made 5 All NBA teams. That's crazy. Like,
I know.
Even
during that era, you definitely did.
Post microfracture surgery, D'Antoni, that offense.
He unfortunately wasn't the same after those injuries.
Right. He played pretty well with the Knicks too, late in his career, didn't he?
Yeah, but
flashes.
Yeah, it was more flashes than anything else. We knew by the time he was in New York Knicks that he was just relatively cooked. Honestly, I remember him not just. There were just some, there were just times like he had it, but then there was other times he was. You could just tell, like by the knee surgeries and everything, it just caught up to him. The first couple of seasons weren't too bad, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first time he arrived on the scene. 25 points per game in 78 games he played. But the next season, 47 games. Next year, 29 games. So then after that, he just wasn't really Amare after that.
Yeah, dude, he was man. I remember vividly. They were playing San Antonio the playoffs before his microfracture surgery, and Boris Dio was out. So I think he averaged.
Oh, Boris Dio.
Amare averaged I want to say 38, 12, and 3 against Tim Duncan. His first playoffs.
Amare?
He went nuclear against Tim Duncan. He went to freaking work. And Duncan back then was a damn good defender too. So. Oh yeah,
it was what? This is what, 05?
Yeah, 04, 05. Yeah, I want to say. I'll say this. Him and Nash ran a beautiful pick and roll. I'll put him with the top 5.
Oh yeah, during that time.
You think of Stockton, Malone. You think I personally think.
If you think about it, Phoenix was those Phoenix teams were the overall essence of what we're seeing now. You know what I'm
Today.
saying? It's now,
Yes.
yeah, right. They were the essence of Steve Novak, you know what I'm saying? Like, spreading the floor, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was, when you have Boris Diaw, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, spreading the floor as, a smaller winged, like, power forward, smaller ball lineups. Like, you started seeing that in Phoenix. So, during that era. So, this is not something that, that's definitely kudos to D'Antoni's teams.
Yeah.
Back then, so.
So is KJ, Amare, and D'Antoni eligible for the Hall of Fame? So one of the three got in. Good for stat. I think it was, if my history's correct, I want to say that was Jerry Colangelo's last draft pick before he sold the team. And I remember the workout with the Suns when he was in high school, because he came out of high school in Orlando, that Jerry Colangelo and Brian Colangelo's jaw was on the ground during the workout. They were just so impressed and flabbergasted with this guy. So good for him. Good one, Snoop. Good one, Snoop.
Which one is that?
No, bringing up Amare. That's badass, dude. That's badass.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. So in some other Suns news, as they got their asses handed to them and they didn't cover the 6.5, they get a boo. Sorry, Nick. I think Williams played 20 minutes. He had 12 and 4 in his return, so it was his first game back. It doesn't move us up or down in the standings, so they played a really good Hornets team who's been on the rise. And then another piece of information. This week, I believe in the last game, Devin Booker became the third youngest shooting guard in NBA history to reach 18,000 career points. Only Kobe and Michael were younger. So
That's correct.
Yep. So can't hate on that, Wilcox. Sorry. Can't hate on that. And then, check this out. And then another thing I got. In NBA history, for most points in a single game with 0 free throw attempts in 26 minutes or less. Both of them from the Suns this year. And you could say the Suns don't get respect on the free throw line, but that's an understatement. That's pretty crazy. And then that's all the Suns news I got. Any other Suns info you want to talk about, or anything else, Snoop?
I don't think so, bro. I think I'm done, dude. I got to get out.
So
For real.
Nick, can the Suns beat the Clippers in the play-in? Can they beat them? You think they can with the team they have now?
Nope.
That's on the court.
Play the Clippers. You shouldn't have asked me that. I'm taking the Clippers. The 7-game series. If you give me Kawhi, Garland.
Okay. Well, one game in Phoenix.
I don't know how
game in
people still
Phoenix?
believe in Kawhi after all the disappointment over all the years.
This year, Snoop,
What?
this year's one of his best years he's ever had. That guy, he's gone nuclear this year, and he's played a lot of games.
Thing you've said over the last couple of weeks.
I just don't. I don't. But
Because the thing is with me and Kawhi is like I can understand what you're saying to a degree. The problem I have with it right now is because Kawhi literally is looking like Kawhi Leonard. When Kawhi Leonard is on, he is one if not the best two-way players in the NBA. Because if I'm locking down your best guy and he's scoring, you literally you're giving your odds to win game per game on there. And I know the record doesn't look like it for the Clippers, but I do think with like Garland being more traditional guard, because they didn't have that before they traded for him, and they had to wait for him, by the way, because he's only played 14 games with them, and tonight will be 15. Kawhi has also played all 60 games he's played this season. So that's another big piece. So with Kawhi, again, PER, player efficiency rating, 28, like, huge, because you're putting your mark on the game. And then a 34% usage rate while playing all your games this season takes it for me. Kawhi, for me, like, he's overall, like, again, he's a top 5 player for me right now when he is hitting all cylinders.
He's all NBA this year.
He's a difference maker for me. So that's why in a 7-game series for me, like, this could, Suns could probably still win. I'm not going to say they can't. I'm just saying more, I would take the Clippers because, like, look, people are even talking about Mathurin on this team either, and how much he
I know,
can make
right?
a sort of difference. Like, so, although they don't have that traditional center, what Zubac they did, you give that up for a guy like John Collins, who could be more of an energy guy. You get Mathurin off the bench. Like, Brook Lopez can still play center pretty okay. He's still an old man out there, but I still think it's more of a completer unit, even from a couple months ago since the trade deadline. So that's why I said give me the Clippers in the 7th game against Phoenix. I love Devin Booker, but he just doesn't play solid enough defense to take over a ball game.
Yeah, well, we also haven't seen a very healthy Phoenix team at all this season.
5 minutes.
It's fair to say, but I'll say this: if it comes together, you got to put it together now in the playoffs. This is not the best time to put it all together.
Right.
I get it, health wise and everything, but now you got to figure out chemistry.
Maybe the Suns been tanking in a different way. This is all strategy. Like, behind the scenes, they're tight as fuck. Right. So now they're working their way in. Boom, boom. Now they're gonna just run with it.
Now you're just talking silly. now you're not talking logic. We've come to that part of the show.
Nick Wilcox, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being on for a while. You're more than welcome to keep coming on if you want. It's up to you. Doors open. I love talking ball with you. It's been great. No pressure, but you're more than welcome to come on next week, following week, whatever you want, brother.
Cool. I'll talk to my agent.
Week after, we're busy.
Talk to your agent. Talk to your agents. You're funny. So before we leave, one more thing I want to share. I got it posted up, and Paul Schemes.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I got a strikeout ball yesterday. Hell yeah, that's right. Go back, pan out. Go back to me, Snoop. Zoom out. Let's go. Paul Schemes' second strikeout ball, and it was on. But it was fun. D-backs got the sweep, and it was I had a great time seeing Skubal pitch yesterday. Snoop, you should have went. I asked you.
I know, but dude, I've been injured, and
Yeah. I mean, they do have wheelchair access there near my seats.
Oh yeah. You're gonna push me around. Okay.
Hey, I got a walker. Let's go, baby. But
how you gonna fucking?
He just called you.
The problem is, dude, fucking, you gotta park like a half a mile from.
I could drop you off. There in my rental. No, I'm not. But yeah, Tarik Skubal strikeout ball. Gotta love it. So, been a great show, Snoop. I'm glad you're okay and you're off the IR. Nick, it's been awesome. Any final words for the great people at home?
Yeah. I got some great words for people.
Go win your fantasy championship.
Literally go win your fantasy championship. Literally, fantasy basketball has been just fantasy basketball season. That's what it is. Like, like the highs are highs and definitely lows are lows, but definitely been appreciative of writing these articles at Fantrax this season. It's been a blast just like looking into like even, sometimes the prefaces of the fantasy basketball waiver wires and how I can help everybody week to week. And it's just been awesome to do. So, look, I wrote my final article for Fantrax till the fall time. So that's going to be definitely, got to figure out what I'm going to do with my time frame now. Got to talk to my agent about that. But definitely find me on X if you want to follow me on there. DM me, whatever. Got messages, whatever. If you got championship games next week for whatever reason, please do that as well. And if you do, make sure you tell your commissioner to never do that again. That being said, it's been a blast being on these shows with y'all. And I'll return soon. Like I said, I'll talk to my agent about my schedule upcoming. Photo shoots, that type of stuff. Trying to keep up with appearances.
The photo shoots. Well, damn. You play fantasy baseball, Nick?
You guys would like that. Photo shoots.
I get hats and shit. You're doing photo shoots.
So fantasy baseball is something I've been kind of like. I'm in a little free league this year for Yahoo, but I didn't really like. For baseball, for me, it's just not as like. I know there's some degenerates like that get in there and they hone in from fantasy baseball. I didn't play much baseball growing up, so
I got it right here. I got it right here.
Oh, Jesus.
I got it right here.
Wow.
God.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay then. Wow.
Yep,
That's
I tell
sick.
you, it's everywhere.
That's sick. That's sick. It's just really sick.
Uh,
What are we gonna do with you again? Jeez.
got a so I'm in one league. We just had our draft a few days ago. 10 team points league.
How many
Played-
pitchers you got?
I got 11 or 12 starting pitchers. Starting pitching is my go-to, so I'm going to draft them.
Got it.
I just
Just
traded.
like running backs in fantasy football.
Yeah. So starting pitching, I've been playing. This is my third season, so 2 years I played. I've won my first year. Didn't make the playoffs last year, so it just shows you. But I just traded Kirby for Marte last night to help my offense out. So I don't know.
You traded Kirby for Marte?
Yeah, I got Kirby.
Yeah, you're a homer.
Oh, well, he's the best second baseman in baseball.
He is though. And I have my roster too.
I had Torres, who's the 7th best second baseman in fantasy baseball, and I'm deep at pitching, like starting pitching, so I could afford it. So
yeah, I got Rochette, I got Freed, I got McGee,
I like
and
Freed.
Jensen, my relievers. DeGrom, Gray, Cabrera for the Cubs.
Okay.
I unfortunately picked up and started Peterson. He got shelled already.
From the Mets.
I got Pivetta, and I got Garrett Cole on the IR.
Okay, I got Pivetta as well.
IL. 15-day IL. But yeah, I got Pivetta. So it's a public little free league that I did, whatever, just so I could kind of keep up with it in general, just so I could get more of my knowledge down and everything. But I got Ariza from the Giants. He's a nice, Swiss Army knife. Marte, Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Acuna, if he could ever figure it out right now, which he will.
Right. That sounds like a good team.
Buxton.
I like him.
And then Perez and Real Muto as my catchers. I got Yandy Diaz, I got Andy Pajes, and I got Marcy from Miami.
Okay.
Brent Reynolds and Marcel Garcia from the Royals.
Okay. My starting pitchers, I have Wheeler, Bieber, Wu, Senga, Pivetta, Mizorowski,
Stinks.
Burns from Cincinnati, Cease, Scherzer. I got a lot of pitchers, so see how it goes.
That's what you should, because once you lose your pitching, it is over.
Yeah. So
I got DeGrom too. I didn't say that.
Okay. Right. So I'm taking your lines. All the great people in all the great land. Thank you so very much. The one and only Nick Wilcox, Snoop Von Poop. Check us out every Thursday night here for the Pick Is In podcast. Thanks to all, 1,200 plus people that are watching. God bless you. Thank you for the likes and reposts, and we'll see you next week. We love you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.